pretty cold out there, especially. That's not where I'd want to be today.
Ooh, it hasn't warmed up too much either, has it?
I love my job.
It's indoors, yeah.
Are you going to tell us it's going to get better?
It is. In time for Christmas, I still am going to give a gift. I'll take credit for it.
Okay.
It should be up around 30. Going over my list, checking it twice, and I see I got a lot of shopping to do tomorrow. Also, we're talking a lot of cold temperatures, all record lows, on and on it goes. Take a look at those, and we're going to share them with our viewers coming up. Oh, we got some great news to tell you about all record low temperatures across the area. From Brookline, not a record there, but clear in 7, says Jack Rothwell. Burlington, you can see, Burlington clear in 4. Chelmsford clear in a lonely 1, and in Framingham, Paul Sletnick says clear, and in the single digits at 6 above 0. So cold man winter continues. It's an old story, but all throughout the east and central U.S., this is just about an unprecedented cold snap, as I'll be talking about. And I knew I shouldn't have got out of my car today. Instant ice man, yes indeed, surrendering to the old cold pattern as it continues. Now our air mass machine captures it. The past 5 days, the darker colors here are the coldest air, dumping right out of Canada onto the Gulf Coast states. Note the coldest is out in here. No doubt about it, it's cold here, but it's much worse out to the west here. We're talking all record low temperatures in all these flashing states. 23 below 0 was the low this morning in Kansas City. That's the coldest they've ever been in history for weather records. 23 below in Indianapolis. Yeah, that's a record for this century, believe it or not, and the low in the nation, 47 below up in Montana. So it could be worse. Back in 1899 in February, we had a cold snap almost like this, and also in 1983 in December. So we're talking one of the top 3 in all time in terms of its extent in degrees. And we do have cold temperatures down here with moisture, and believe it or not, this moisture is producing some snowfall. These are the temperatures as of 10 o'clock in Florida. Daytona Beach 45, 34 Jacksonville with some freezing rain, and out to the west here, look at this, all the way out to Pensacola. It's 21 with a wind chill of 10 below, snowing in Tallahassee and Pensacola right now. In some spots we'll get a good 2 or 3 inches down here up into southeastern portions of South Carolina. Northwesterly winds now, temperature 9, but the wind chill in Boston is 26 below 0. Odds of a white Christmas, and they're 100% around International Falls, Minnesota. That's the way it normally is. Normally for Boston, it's 23%. We have a 1 in 4 shot. We're finally going to have one in terms of snow on the ground for the first time since 1980. Look how much of the country has a snowpack even down here. Crazy. Here's our forecast for Boston and vicinity overnight tonight. Calling for a cold night, no doubt about that. About 0 even in Boston, but that's not a record. The record's 12 below. It'll stand. Now for tomorrow, we'll look for a bright but brisk day out there. High around 20. Lower wind chills, not as bad as tonight. The wind chills tonight around 30 below. Again, 26 below right now. For tomorrow night, still a chill, but not quite as bad as it's been. Hey, moderating out all the way up to about 8. Now, flurries possible on the south shore and the Cape as the winds turn a little bit more north to northeast. And Sunday, maybe a few flurries, especially south of Plymouth over the Cape, and that would be just grand for Christmas Eve, but no big storms. And on Christmas Day, more clouds than sun, a chance of a few snow flurries, not a big storm. Highs a balmy 30 degrees. Be a gift on Christmas Day.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Uncle Ron. Sports coming up next. The bitter Celtics-Sixers rivalry was heating up again.